guys for joining us. I'm Oswald Feliz, newly elected council member of the 15th Council District, right here in the Bronx, the center of the Bronx. Today, I am humbled, I am honored, and I'm privileged to have Councilwoman Vanessa Gibson, also a candidate for Borough President, announce her endorsement to my campaign. I'm a tenant lawyer, I'm an educator, council member of the 15th Council District, and it's an honor to have Vanessa Gibson endorse me. She's done a lot of great work on issues of housing, passing the Right to Counsel Act, an act that has helped protect our most vulnerable residents at risk of eviction and homelessness. It's truly an honor to have her join Team Feliz and endorse my candidacy or my re-election for City Council of the 15th Council District. So ladies and gentlemen, Councilwoman and candidate for Borough President, Vanessa Gibson.
Thank you so much to my colleague. It's a great honor and privilege to be here in the Central Bronx to officially announce my support for my colleague, Councilmember Oswald Feliz. Newly elected to the City Council, new to our City Council Bronx delegation, but truly an asset. His credentials and his level of experience is exactly what the Central Bronx needs. And during my past 8 years as a member of the City Council representing District 16 in the West Bronx, the neighbor of District 15, it's really been an honor and a privilege to work with a former council member, Richie Torres, now Congressman Richie Torres. Together, he chaired the Committee on Public Housing, I chaired the Committee on Public Safety, and we did a lot of work to support tenants that live in public housing. Investments in our capital infrastructure that really invest in the future of our city. And since that time, when we supported Richie Torres moving on to Congress, that created a vacancy for Council District 15. And I'm really grateful that the voters of this district back in March, on March 23rd, voted for a new voice for them at City Hall. And that voice is Councilmember Oswald Feliz. And even now, as he is newly elected, he's already hit the ground running as a member of the Bronx delegation and really making sure that the residents understand that they have someone that they can believe in. Far too often, people have lost hope in government. We have been affected by COVID-19. We've seen the highest death rate to COVID-19, highest rates of asthma and heart disease, and so many health disparities that we are affected by every single day. COVID-19 exacerbated those health disparities. And so for us here in the Bronx, we need leaders who are not new to this work, but true to this work. Leaders with a demonstrated track record of accomplishment. And we have that in Councilmember Oswald Feliz. He is a tenant organizer. He used to work at Bronx Legal Services, providing legal expertise to thousands of tenants who face displacement and landlord harassment and being pushed out of their rent-regulated apartments. And he's also an adjunct professor at one of our CUNY institutions, Ostos Community College. He has a background that is exactly what the Central Bronx needs. And now, as he quickly faces re-election just a few weeks later, we have to make sure that the voters of District 15 understand that the next primary on Tuesday, June 22nd, they have to come out and vote again for their council member, Oswald Feliz. He is the incumbent. He is the winner of the March special election, and we are proud to stand with him on this journey until Election Day. The Bronx has a lot that we need, and we are now in the midst of a budget of $95 billion. We just learned of the executive budget earlier today, and we're going to make sure collectively, District 15, District 16, and the broader part of the Bronx is not left behind. We want summer youth, Compass, Sonic, Cornerstone programs. We want after-school universal pre-K. We want our CFE money. We want money for health care and vaccinations. We want to make sure there's an equitable distribution of resources for all of the residents here in the Bronx. So it is my honor and privilege to officially endorse my colleague, Oswald Feliz, to continue serving as the council member of District 15. So all the voters out there in Belmont, in Crotona, we need you to stand with us so that we can continue to elect leadership that looks like you, that comes from your community, and that is for your community. And ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, you get that and much more in your council member, Oswald Feliz. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. And it is truly an honor and privilege. I'm humbled to have the endorsement of Councilwoman and candidate for Borough President, Vanessa Gibson. She's fought every single day to make sure that the people of the Bronx get the resources they deserve. She's fought every single day to make sure that the people in the Bronx, or young kids in the Bronx, have access to good schools, schools that have the resources to prepare them for the future, schools that will make sure that our young kids can dream and also achieve their dreams. Additionally, she's fought, as mentioned earlier, every single day to make sure that our vulnerable tenants get the resources they need to fight against landlord harassment. That's actually a big issue right here in the Bronx. In fact, a year ago, and some of the tenants joining us today, I had the honor and privilege of representing the tenants of that large building that had gas for 6 months, no cooking gas for 6 months. And I was able to represent them. Me and my colleagues were able to fight against the landlord harassment. And it was thank you to people like Vanessa Gibson, who made sure that these tenants have access to free legal lawyers to fight against the landlord in cases of landlord harassment. So it's truly an honor and privilege to have the endorsement of my good friend Vanessa Gibson, Councilwoman of the Bronx and also candidate for Bronx Borough President. And I'll say briefly, I've dedicated my career to building a better Bronx. As a tenant lawyer, I've defended vulnerable residents at risk of eviction, vulnerable residents at risk of homelessness. I'm also an educator. I teach.
That matters.
I also teach right here in the Bronx. I teach at Hostos Community College, teaching reading and writing to struggling students right here in the Bronx. And I've also dedicated my career to making sure that our communities are civically organized and civically engaged. I'm looking very forward to continuing to partner up with my good friend, Councilwoman and Bronx Borough President candidate Vanessa Gibson to fight every single day. Fight day and night. We actually work around the clock to make sure that the best days of the Bronx are ahead. So thank you so much. Thank you for the endorsement. And we're going to continue fighting. We're going to continue fighting for affordable housing so that our families can be stable. We're going to continue fighting for better public schools so that our children could be prepared for the future. And we're also going to continue fighting for economic opportunity for families right here in the Bronx. So thank you so much for everybody for joining us.
All right,
Thank you.